There's an animal smaller than your finger that creates a sound louder than a gunshot. When it snaps its claw, the water around it boils. For a split second, it reaches the temperature of the surface of the sun. And that's not even the strangest thing you're going to see today. You've probably heard people talk about superpowers like they're something out of comic books. Flight, invisibility, regeneration, things that don't exist in the real world. But they do. Right now, all over this planet, there are animals doing things that break every rule we thought we understood about biology. Animals that can turn back time. Animals that generate electricity powerful enough to light up a room. Animals that freeze solid, heart stopped, brain dead, and then just wake up. If you're new here, I talk about the animals that make this world worth paying attention to. And today, I've got 7 of them for you. Some of these you've never heard of. A couple of them might change how you think about life itself. Let's start with the one that punches harder than anything its size has any right to. Number 1, the pistol shrimp. That's about 2 inches long, lives in tropical waters, and has one claw that's almost half the size of its entire body. But it's not the size that matters, it's what that claw can do. When the pistol shrimp snaps its claw shut, it moves so fast that it creates something called a cavitation bubble. That's a pocket of air that forms and then immediately collapses in on itself. And when it collapses, it produces a sound that reaches 218 decibels. To put that in perspective, a gunshot is about 140 decibels. This tiny shrimp is louder than a jet engine. But here's the part that gets me. When that bubble collapses, the temperature inside it briefly hits 8,000 degrees Fahrenheit. That's roughly the temperature of the surface of the sun in the ocean, created by a shrimp. Number 2, the Immortal Jellyfish. This one's harder to wrap your head around, but I want you to stay with me because this might be the most remarkable animal alive, literally. There is a species of jellyfish called Turritopsis dohrnii, and it has figured out how to reverse its own aging process. When it gets old, or sick, or stressed, or injured, instead of dying, it transforms. It absorbs its own tentacles, it sinks to the ocean floor, and it reverts back to its earliest form, basically becoming a baby again. And then it starts life over. Think about what that means. A jellyfish is born, it grows up, it gets old, and then instead of dying, it becomes young again, and the cycle repeats. Theoretically, this could go on forever. There is no biological reason this animal has to die. Now, in practice, most of them do die from disease or predation or just the ocean being the ocean. But the point is that this animal figured out something that every human who has ever lived would give anything to understand: how to start over. I think about that sometimes. What if starting over wasn't something you had to earn? What if it was just built into you? This tiny, translucent creature in the dark water has something we've been writing stories about for thousands of years, and it doesn't even know it has it. What would you do if you could start your whole life over? Would you make the same choices? Number 3, the electric eel. You've probably heard of electric eels, but I don't think you know what they're actually capable of. I didn't, until I started looking into this. An electric eel can discharge up to 860 volts in a single shock. That's enough to power a small house for a brief moment. It's more than 7 times the voltage of a standard wall outlet. And it comes from an animal that lives in muddy rivers in the Amazon basin. The eel has specialized organs called electrocytes, basically thousands of biological batteries stacked together. When it needs to hunt or defend itself, it fires all of them at once. And everything in the water around it, fish, frogs, occasionally a caiman that got too curious, just locks up, paralyzed. The electricity overrides their nervous systems. But here's what I find really interesting. The eel doesn't just use electricity to attack, it uses it to see. Electric eels live in water so murky that vision is basically useless. So they generate a low-level electrical field around their bodies, and they sense the distortions in that field. They can feel the shape of objects around them. They're basically living in their own radar system. So this animal has turned electricity into a weapon and a sense. It navigates by lightning. It hunts by lightning. That's not adaptation, that's a superpower. Number 4. The Mimic Octopus. Okay, this one is going to seem like I'm making it up. I promise I'm not. There is an octopus, discovered in 1998 off the coast of Indonesia, that can shapeshift. Not in the way other octopuses change color, which is impressive on its own. This one changes its body shape, its movement, and its behavior to impersonate other animals. At least 15 different species. It can flatten its body and swim like a flatfish. It can wrap its arms together and slither across the ocean floor like a sea snake that happens to be venomous, which scares off predators. It can tuck 6 of its arms into a hole and use the remaining 2 to look like a mantis shrimp. It mimics lionfish. It mimics jellyfish. It's choosing which animal to impersonate based on what predator is nearby. If something tries to eat it, it doesn't just run. It becomes something that the predator is afraid of. It reads the situation and responds with the most effective disguise available. I want you to sit with that for a second. This is an animal with no bones, no spine, a brain the size of a walnut, and it's running a threat assessment and selecting a disguise in real time. We have military technology that doesn't do this as well as this octopus does, and we still don't fully understand how it does it. We know octopuses are intelligent. We know they solve puzzles, they open jars, they escape aquariums. But this is something else. This is an animal that looked at the ocean and decided the best way to survive was to become everything else in it. I know this sounds like a horror movie, but hear me out. That's actually beautiful. The mimic octopus survives not by fighting, not by hiding, but by becoming. There's a lesson in there somewhere. The platypus has been called a lot of things. A mistake, a joke, an animal that God made from spare parts. It has a duckbill, a beaver tail, it lays eggs, and it produces milk. It's one of the only venomous mammals on Earth, and for a long time, scientists thought the specimens being sent back from Australia were literally stitched together as a hoax. But buried inside that strange body is something that most people have never heard about. The platypus can sense electricity, like the electric eel, but in reverse. When the platypus dives underwater, it closes its eyes, its ears, and its nostrils. It's completely sealed off. It can't see, hear, or smell anything. And yet, it can find tiny shrimp and worms in the mud of a riverbed with near-perfect accuracy. Its bill is covered in tens of thousands of electroreceptors. It literally feels the electrical signals generated by the muscle contractions of its prey. It's hunting with a sixth sense that we don't have a name for, because it doesn't exist in our experience. And the males have venomous spurs on their back legs. The venom isn't lethal to humans, but it causes pain so severe that morphine doesn't touch it. The pain can last for weeks. Nobody knows why the venom is that potent. It seems like overkill for a defense mechanism on an animal that eats worms. Number 6. The Bombardier Beetle. This one's smaller than a penny, and it carries a chemical weapon that would make any military envious. Inside the Bombardier Beetle's abdomen are 2 separate chambers. One holds hydroquinone, the other holds hydrogen peroxide. On their own, these chemicals are relatively harmless, but when the beetle feels threatened, it mixes them together into a third chamber, and the reaction is explosive. The mixture hits 212 degrees Fahrenheit, boiling temperature, and it sprays out of a nozzle at the back of the beetle's body with a directional accuracy that's almost impossible to believe. The beetle can aim. It can rotate the nozzle and hit a target in almost any direction behind it. And the spray comes out as a rapid series of pulses, not a continuous stream. The beetle fires in bursts to prevent itself from overheating. It has a built-in cooling system. On an insect, an ant could be approaching, about to eat this beetle, and in the time it takes to blink, it gets hit with a jet of boiling acid. The beetle walks away. The ant doesn't. Evolution took millions of years to build this. Two chemicals kept separate until the exact moment they're needed, mixed in precise amounts, fired in controlled bursts, aimed with directional accuracy. From the outside, it looks like engineering, but no one engineered it. It just happened, one tiny change at a time, over longer than we can really imagine. Number 7. The wood frog. I saved this one for last because it's the one that stays with me. The wood frog lives in North America, as far north as the Arctic Circle. And every winter, it does something that should be impossible. It freezes, not like it gets cold and slows down. It freezes solid. Its heartbeat stops. Its breathing stops. Its blood stops. Brain activity gone. By every measure we use to define life, this frog is dead. It can stay like that for months, buried under leaves and snow, frozen harder than a rock. You could pick one up, and it would feel like a piece of ice. There is no heartbeat. There is no movement. There is nothing. And then, in the spring, it thaws. The heart starts. The breathing starts. And the frog just gets up and walks away like nothing happened. Here's how it works. Before winter, the frog's liver produces massive amounts of glucose, sugar, and floods its cells with it. That glucose acts like antifreeze. It prevents the cells from rupturing when the ice forms. The frog essentially fills itself with sugar, lets the ice take everything else, and waits. It can survive with up to 65% of its body frozen for months in temperatures below zero. And then it comes back. I think about what that means. This animal dies every winter, every single year. It crosses the line that we think of as permanent, the line between alive and not alive. And then it comes back, like the line was never really there at all. Maybe it wasn't. Some things in nature don't feel like adaptations. They feel like promises. The wood frog freezes solid, and the world says, "Not yet. There's more for you to do here. Come back when the ice melts." And it does, every single time. 7 animals, 7 abilities that shouldn't be possible, and every single one of them is real. The pistol shrimp that boils water with a snap, the jellyfish that starts life over, the eel that hunts with lightning, an octopus that becomes other animals, a creature that shouldn't exist but uses senses we can't imagine, a beetle with a chemical weapon, and a frog that dies and comes back. If one of these stuck with you, if one of these animals made you feel something, I'd love to hear about it in the comments. Tell me which one. I read every single one. Thanks for being here. I'll see you next time.